YouTube. Back again with another video. Weekly outlook for the week of Sunday, November 2nd, 2025. But before I do that, I'm going to be going over what I thought the market was going to do last week and how that ended up playing out for me. Looking at AU, EU, GU, and UJ. All right, so last week, looking at AU, I said the market was going to sell. However, all it did that week was just continue to correct, and it has not continued in its sale. Um, Moving on to Euro USD, a bias here was a buy, and it ultimately invalidated our idea and began selling. Same with GBP USD, bias was a buy. The market did not continue higher, invalidated that idea, and sold for the remainder of the week. And last but not least, USD JPY. This was actually yen futures. Market invalidated idea as well, and instead of buying, it sold. All right, moving on to DXY for this week. So last week when I was looking at DXY, I said the market was buying. It was currently correcting at that time. That correction ended, and it proceeded to make a higher high. So after looking at this, it's crazy. Like I seen the DXY was buying, but then I also said AU, EU, and GU were going to be buying. These pairs are inversely correlated, meaning that one going dollars going up, those three are going to be going down. So it's a good learning lesson for me that what I'm saying, that the DXY should be my guide in how I'm foreseeing these other pairs to be moving for throughout the week. Lesson learned. But moving on to this week. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's see. Update this chart right here for dollar. All right, so this will be my new point of invalidation where I'll say the market is no longer buying here. Okay. And look at volume on. So we are losing volume. So market could be potentially correcting here soon. Or could it be correcting? It could correct to several places, right? Like this area in here. Previous broken high. Also want to say and I'm also throw this one. But these are some areas that I think the market could correct to before continuing higher. Ultimately, overall, I foresee the market could get to this level. Will it get to this level first? I'm not sure. But all I can do is, with the current information that I have, wait for a pullback. Should I pull back into one of these areas here? Wait on my entry confirmations. Super low, super low. Wait on some entry confirmations, and then target higher. It's my overall bias. Okay, so now that I know that DXY is buying, I'm gonna go ahead and proceed to the analysis of this week's pairs. Okay, so dollar is buying, which aids me and adds on to that. I will be selling the Australian dollar Australian US dollar currency pair. So this is the ultimate structural point here that I'll say needs to break before saying this sell is continuing, right? But now there is a trend within this trend that I see. And I'll actually say it has broken this strong structural point here to continue selling. Will it break beyond this emphasis level? We would just have to see as the market goes through. So it's a potential entry back here Thursday morning, 8 a.m. With any break, though, it's going to be a retest. So it's retesting, and from this point, possibly get something down here.
Click, 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 click,
Or
click,
continuing lower.
click, click.
Moving on to Euro USD. Again, my bias is also going to be a sell here. Market is also already selling here. We have a decrease in volume. So market could continue selling. It could continue selling. How long? Unsure, right? But with the loss of volume though, we can have some corrections. Have some corrections. Areas that we would like the market to correct to before continuing lower. Moving on to GBP USD, my bias here is also a sell, right? Again, looking at the same impulse as EU, quite similarly. I'm sure definitely volume is falling off as these lows are getting lower, right? Let's go ahead and see. So the market could one continue selling, or which I would like to see, market to correct, right? Correct some of these strong areas, supply and demand. Or continuing lower. But as of right now, we are selling. And last but not least, here's the JPY, which will be correlated to the DXY, right? So DXY is buying. So USD, JPY should also be buying, which it is. Go ahead and throw that volume in there. So we have it's not nearly an equal high, right? And it's a strong fall off in volume. So again, that volume falling off on the market going to correct with some strong levels of supply and demand. Or continuing on up. It'll be that next zone up here. So that's my outlook for this week. Thank y'all for watching. Have a good one.